guys, Steve here for Who Took My Dice Miniature Wargaming. This video is all about my Adeptus Astartes Space Marines. As I said, I've been in other videos. I've been doing this for 20 plus years, so I have a pretty good sized collection of Space Marines now. Again, I started way back in second ed, so I've got all sorts of different Marines, new ones, the old metal ones, the ones in between, sizable chunk of captains and characters all over the place. And that was just the Ultramarines. Those guys have been around forever. My Black Templars, I actually started back in the days when I was working Games Workshop. We had a painting competition between staff, I think it was just in Canada, I could be wrong, called Paint or Die. And this is a whole bunch of staff got together. We had to do vlogs, the whole thing. And so I decided, I'm going to do the Black Templars. I got razzed a little bit because it was, it's more Space Marines, it's easy to do, and that's partially correct. I want to do something familiar because the first painting competition I ever really did. But it's actually a bit more complicated. People just think, oh, it's just silver, black, and white. With the Black Templars, I actually had to paint them up. I primed them black, painted them with Chaos Black back in the day. Then I dry brushed them with several different shades of gray, and then did a wash with black. I wanted the the shading on their armor, or the where the light effects would be, to be a bit more natural, not just straight line highlighting. So it did take a while. Unfortunately, in the end, that painting competition was kind of a dud because I think 2 days in, one of the staffers painted probably the laziest, most pathetic paint job I've ever seen. It was really sad because it came from a staffer. It was a Tyranid army. I think he did it in a matter of 2 days. It was white and pink. Basically, the guy primed everything white, painted the shells, the chinton, whatever you want to call it, the armor white again, and glossed it up, and then put a wash of pink over anything that wasn't armor, and based his models with what looked like white glue, and finished it up. He set the bar really low, and it kind of just died after that. But that's where those guys came from. The Ultramarines I've been working on forever. I'm still working on them. I've still got lots and lots of models left to paint. So without any further ado, here are the armies. So here we have my captains and special characters for my Ultramarines army. Obviously Cassius, Tigurius, Calgar. That limited edition Space Marine Legion Centurion, some of the original Master of the Chapter. That one there with the giant lightning claws is the original Sicarius model that they put out for the Battle of Medusa 5 worldwide campaign. And a limited edition Games Day model from back in the day, which I've turned into a 9th Company Captain. So yeah, I love these models. They're the epitome of Space Marines. The big armor, massive weapons, just tons of character in each one. I love the Centurion. I think he's probably my favorite model. Just the stance. There's sort of an ancient power to him. It's fantastic. Calgar, of course. And then Cassius at the end here is one of my favorites. Just the character of him. It's fantastic. I love these I love these models. They're some of my favorites. And here are the tactical squads of my army. So one here that is for the most part made up of all the old plastic and metal Ultramarines from the 2nd edition, with the possible exception of the Sergeant's arms there, which are more recent. And they actually have the metal Ultramarine shoulder pads from back of the day. And there's their Rhino transport. I have a 10-man tactical squad. I've already changed over the Sergeant to a newer base. As you notice, I actually have 2 Rogue Trader Marines in there. These guys are just a whole bunch of different armors, styles. Basically, they're just there to kill stuff with their bolters. I sometimes put them in a Rhino, just drive them around. They're there just to offer some close-range fire support. I have this squad here, which is one of the first squads I painted up when I joined Games Workshop. A lot of testing went into this. I'd have another Rogue Trader in there. Now I notice there's not a lot of use on these guys. I am just not good at freehand. It's something I'm still working on. As you can see, the Ultramarines U on there, just not the best. And I have another small one over there. As you notice, one guy in the arm, in the back is missing an arm. I have to find it and glue it back on. Again, that one I was just sort of a fun little squad. I have all the Marines running. I wanted to show Marines in sort of a dynamic pose instead of just standing there. Alright, so that's the tactical squads. All, well, 3.5 of them. Here are my scouts. Several close combat, a bunch of sniper rifles, of course, Torius Tellian, who is freaking awesome. I love him. I usually run these guys, the 4 with the sniper rifles in the back with Tellian, and the other 6 will usually run up and infiltrate or outflank when I need them to, just to cause disruptions and be, just giant pains in the ass. Well, yeah, and the rest I like to put with Tellian just to make take advantage of his Eye of Vengeance rules and all that cool stuff. But yeah, so there are my scouts. And here I have some of my other support units. I have a 5-man Devastator squad filled with heavy bolters, and an attack bike. Just like to have it going around on its own. I plan on adding more to it. And then of course my Tyrannic War Veterans. I love these guys. I used to use them as Stern Guard. However, now I use them solely as Tyrannic War Veterans because the rules are awesome. They're pretty awesome, especially against Tyranids, obviously. And just, it's an extra level of character I think the Ultramarines kind of need. Being sort of, as everybody calls, the quote-unquote vanilla Marines. It's nice to have a unit. You put them with Cassius, they're even more devastating. So that's the army as it stands right now. Now, I do have a whole number of things in different levels of being painted. I have 2 Dreadnoughts, a Drop Pod, a 5-man Assault Squad, a 5-man Stern Guard, 5-man Vanguard, 5-man Terminator, and another Tactical Squad. That's all on the Tactical Squad's on the new bases with a whole bunch of the Ultramarine upgrade sprue that just came out not too long ago. But yeah, so that is sort of the heavy support, fast attack, and elites in my army. Now here are the 2 HQ choices of my Black Templars. Obviously a Chaplain, and my own homemade scratch-built Emperor's Champion. I was just never a fan of sort of the static pose, the sword raised up. I mean, I have it here too, but you're just kind of walking along. I want this one to look like he was still sort of leading, but also doing something, firing with his bolt pistol or something. And the Chaplain I absolutely love. Just the way he looks, he's either, giving his battle brothers a rousing once over with his litanies of hate, or challenging some champion of chaos or something, sort of a come at me bro type thing. Now here's my 2 Crusader squads and a Rhino. So you see one is more close combat oriented than the rest. I don't normally just divide them like this in more shooting and close combat. I kind of mix them up depending on what I'm facing. And pretty basic. I have a Neophyte there. Close combat one has a Flamer. Sort of keep, I didn't put any really special weapons or heavy weapons here. Want to keep that for other squads. Crusader squads, you don't want them slowed down too much by, having to wait and fire with heavy weapons. So those are my Crusader squads. And here we have my 2 Vindicators that have both unfortunately lost their Storm Bolters. I'm repairing those soon as well when I have the time. This is my heavy support. Up close, it's able to run up with the Crusaders and just put down nice big blast markers or large blast markers on everything. They're fantastic. They've killed so much for me. I love them so much. But yeah, so that's my heavy support. I love them. Love them. And then here I have my Sword Brethren Terminator squad, all decked out to shoot stuff. And over here, sort of my pièce de résistance. I built this back during the, I think the very first edition of Apocalypse, where Games Workshop was really saying, design your own stuff. So I decided I'm going to build my own vehicle, and I was inspired by a picture in the old Visions of Heresy book. It was called Lehman's Thunder Rhino, and it was basically a giant rhino filled with Space Wolves. Well, I don't play Space Wolves, but I do play Black Templars, so I decided, you know what? I'm going to slam a couple rhinos together and call, Black Templar's Thunder Rhino. I have rules that made up for anything. Basically holds 20 Marines. It's fast. It's open-topped again for the purposes of shooting, and it's an assault transport, so the Black Templars can leap out and just start hitting things with bolters and chainswords. It's a lot of fun. I've only used it a couple times, But yeah, so that is the rest of the army. Now again, I do have some more Black Templars I need to paint up. I have another Terminator squad that's in the midst of being repaired. Yeah, so that is the full scope of my Black Templar army. And here is both armies together, my Ultramarines and Black Templars. I'm pretty happy with how everything turned out. And so yeah, these are the two armies I've been nursing for 20 years. Ultramarines all the way back to 2nd Ed, and the Black Templars since, I believe, 4th. Yeah, it's been a lot of hard work and dedication. Love has gone into painting these little guys. And that's what I hope this video conveys to you guys, is how much I love this stuff. And I hope that somehow this inspires you to keep painting your stuff. Maybe get new models, new vehicles, or hell, even create your own like I did.
And there you go, guys. Those are my armies, my Ultramarines and my Black Templars. I hope you enjoyed seeing them. I hope it gives you some sort of, I don't know, inspiration to keep painting, or maybe starting a brand new army. Like I said, I've been at these armies for a while now, and they're constantly being repainted. Stuff's being added to them. I have a laundry list of stuff that I still have to paint, and hopefully we'll get to at some point in the future. Probably not until I'm in my 70s, retired, and the kids are gone. I moved out, whatever. But until then, keep rolling dice. If you like what you saw, like, share, subscribe, put comments down below, send stuff to email whotookmydice1@gmail.com, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!